Good morning, Vietnam. No. That's actually from a Robin Williams movie. He passed away. I think one of you might have been born. Romeo, you might have been born when he passed away, but not like you remember like infant. But Robin Williams, very, very, very funny guy. Passed away. Played Genie in Aladdin. Now you'll know that. Trust me, Aladdin isn't going anywhere anytime soon. But good morning, boys. Um, just got up a few minutes ago. Um, I remember it was funny when I put on my hat today. I was thinking about the good old days. Well, it depends. It probably wasn't the good old days for us good old minorities back then, but I always seeing TV shows where the guys be like, "Morning, ma'am," tip the hat, and I always thought it'd be kind of cool living in a society where we still have values like that. That's kind of why we came to Texas. I was hoping to run the howdy, ma'am, but ain't seen it yet. Maybe I'm too stuck in the past. Who knows? But today's topics, the reason it's titled Revenge, Stardate, 17.7.0. Um, I love Star Trek. Always have been a big fan of Star Trek. And it was always Captain's Log, Stardate 15.8.562. And I'm like, okay, that's not a date. Okay. So what is Stardate? I always try to figure them out. And um, I know I could go online right now and Google it, and I didn't want to lose the allure. That same. Um, it's kind of like once you open the Pandora's box or bite into the apple from the tree, from the Garden of Eden. You have all this knowledge, and it's no longer childlike fun. So I have not looked up how they figure out the star dates yet, but I still want to dream and imagine, and try to figure it out on my own. It was cool. So that's how I do the star date. There obviously isn't no star date because I don't know how that works. But we're going to talk about two topics, and one is revenge, and the other one is 17.7.0. Um, I find signs all the time about stuff, and I feel that the Lord has given me the ability to see some of these signs, interpret them completely, not always, but for the most part, yeah, I get them, and I understand some of them, and I'm sure there's someone um, who's watched this by the time you guys watch it and understand it that will might even see this video as a sign. It's the Lord works in mysterious ways. But about revenge, keep in mind, um, the Bible says, it's a lot of stuff actually, but one of them is an eye. People believe eye for eye, and tooth for tooth, in there, and it's not really. I mean, you can interpret it that way, but I heard someone once say, if everyone took an eye for eye, then we'd all be blind. And it's true. You shouldn't try to get revenge in every single situation when someone wrongs you. That's not your place. That's not your job. Um, People always say, well, God get them in the end, or God make them pay for it. But keep this in mind: God doesn't have hands. There's a lot of times in the Old Testament, especially, where God used us as His hands. God used us as a shining example of what is to be, and what is to come. And men have fought. I think there's somewhere that says there's a war fought every few minutes somewhere in the world. Um, and I know you might think, well, Dad, I've only heard of World War I and Vietnam and World War II. No, 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 not big scrimmages. It don't have to be. It could be a war between two little villages. That we've never heard of, never will hear of. And they both killed completely both sides off. They both died. I mean, we'll never even know what happened. Um, but the guesstimation is there's a war every few minutes somewhere in the world. Um, so revenge is very prevalent in society and in our world, in our DNA. Um, a lot of fathers will tell you don't get revenge on people. I'm not one of those. Sometimes we are God's left hand, right hand, whatever you want to call it. And you probably heard the expression by now, and you probably hear it later on. Sometimes the only way we deal with a bully is pop them in the mouth. I'm not encouraging you to pop anybody in the mouth, but there will be a time when you will have to pop someone in the mouth, and it could be figurative. You know, Telling them how it is when they didn't expect anyone to even say anything. Um, being honest in front of someone that you know is going to cause consequences for people. I remember when I worked at United Furniture Warehouse, I had a big decision to make one time. The people who I got hired on with two other guys, and I found out they were stealing from the company, and we were only been there for like 2 months, if that. And I found out because one day, literally, this guy asks me, "Hey, what should I get my girlfriend for Valentine's Day?" And I'm like, I don't know, jewelry, so he goes, "Oh, I don't got that much." No, no, no. I'm talking about what should I get her though? And I was like, I don't. Oh, why don't you get her something sweet? Like, you could just make her breakfast in bed. It doesn't have to be cost anything. Something that's draw her card. I mean, if you have really horrible art skills, she's gonna think it's cute and adorable as hell that you try to draw her card. It's like make a poem up or something. He said, no, 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 dude. I'm talking about from here. And I'm like, well, you just said you don't have much money. He said, no, 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 no. I'm talking about just taking something. Like it was no big deal. It was like, okay, take a couch here, take a table here. Like, what the hell, And so, he said, you want anything? And I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted because I was like, I said, well, how do you do this while I get caught? He goes, I take stuff from the defective section that isn't really that defective. No one, he goes, it's already marked off. No one's gonna even notice it. And he says, go back to the pile, see if there's anything. And there's this huge pile. The store was really unorganized. There's a huge pile of stuff back there. And I'm just like, okay. I started walking back there and I got about halfway back and some just ate at me like, no, man, don't do this. Don't. I don't care if it's a lamp, something small, you know, a paperclip. Don't do it. It's not worth it, man. And I got about halfway back there and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. He's like, all right, you sure? I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And 2 days later, another guy was literally a guy who did our deliveries, um, backed the truck up, and this other employee gave him $300, the guy in the truck, and told him take whatever you want out of the warehouse. I'll mark it off. And this guy took sectionals, TV, well, not TVs, TV stands, dressers, because we only had furniture, like I said. And I mean, just cleared out like $3,000 of merchandise, like it was nothing. And I'm thinking, wow, and it just kept getting worse, and finally, I had to say something, and it wasn't revenge per se, it was doing the right thing, and I was ready for the revenge. I had a feeling there, if they found out I did it, they were going to try to strike me down, I'm not stupid, but I told the authority figure, and the next time I came to work a couple days later, um, while I was there, the police came and arrested those guys. And that just blew my mind. I was like, wow, oh man, And I didn't feel bad for them because I knew what they were doing was wrong. Um, I felt a little bit of guilt because they were going to go to jail because of, me saying something. And but I liked the company. I wanted to continue to work there, and I knew the way my life has went that I was going to be put as part of that somehow if I didn't step up and say something. And so I was worried about revenge from them guys. Never happened. They went to jail, obviously. So and I was that I quit like a month or two later at that place for other reasons. But um, like I say, I wanted to do the right thing, so I did. And sometimes revenge truly is the right thing. Um, I've had people do me dirty, and I usually bide my time. There's this expression: "Revenge is best served cold." Always true. It's very true. So, like I said, just be careful when you strike, if you do, and keep in mind that you might not be. You think you're doing it because your own self, and you might feel like it's something you know. Sometimes God will have you do stuff, you So, anyways, like I said, boys, don't get in fights. Don't try to pick fights. Don't start them, but damn sure don't back down from them. Because if you do, people will treat you that way your entire life. They will see you as a target. Okay, so don't be no one's target. Be a leader, be an example. Be the person that does the right thing so much that people are scared to do the wrong thing around you. Okay? Because they'll know you'll do something about it. You're not going to stand for injustices. And again, people with injustice on you, some people say it's revenge. I say it's comeuppance for what they deserve. So, anyways, to the 17.7.0. When I had this sign happen and pop in my head, I had no idea what it meant because literally the day it came in my head was roughly 3 to 4 days. Actually, it's 4 days. Wow, my number four again. It's 4 days after I found out some really, really bad news. Since you guys left, I've only cried one time that wasn't related to you directly. And there ain't nothing wrong with crying. You're a man, you can cry. A lot of people say men don't cry. No, no, no. We just don't show people. We usually hide it. We go in the bathroom or we do it when everybody's asleep. We don't show the world we cry. But when this thing happened a couple days ago, I was crying in public again. And the last time I did that, and the only time I can honestly recall doing that as an adult was when you guys were taken away and anything that was related to you. So this was pretty huge what happened. Um, but it was weird because like whenever bad stuff happens, I always get signs that things could be okay eventually. Might not be directly related to that. Give some side note, something different, but it just went 17.7.0 and that popped in my head and I saw it go 17.7.0. I saw that those numbers line up and I saw them meaning something. I was like, how is this even possible? How is this? This doesn't make no sense. And so my next mindset was to look at scripture and see if there's anything. Because I didn't know where 17.7.0 could mean in any other aspect of my life. Um, but then I remember I've always used zero as a placeholder. People who know me, if you, I'm not going to tell you my social security number, but I've always told people that zero is a placeholder for my social security number. I've always said that. So that's how I know that my social security number is that one of the numbers is zero and it's a placeholder. And so I was like, okay, maybe zero is a placeholder. I've been saying that since I was a kid. So maybe zero. So zero is a placeholder, so it doesn't mean nothing. So what's the 17.7 part? That's the part I just gave you. 17.7, 17.7. And so I decided to look at my Bible. Very first chapter, Genesis. This is 17.7. And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you and their generations for an everlasting covenant to be God to you and your descendants after you. As soon as I read that, I realized God was talking about you guys. He promised me a long time ago that things would go good later in life. That I would have a very rough beginning. And I knew that since I was a kid. I mean, I don't know how much I've told you guys, but I seen two, three dead bodies before I was 12. I seen brain matter. I've been shot at like 3 times, and I wasn't even part of the situation. I was sitting in my car one time. My car gets shot at because so shoot at someone else. I walk around the corner just walking home from school and see someone's chest explode. You know what I mean? I've seen crazy stuff growing up. I seen drug addicts in my bathroom. I knew a drug addict who got thrown in a trash can one time, and because they thought the person was dead, but the jolt somehow brought them back to life, and they climbed back out the trash can and went and did more drugs. Like nothing happened. So you name it, I've seen some crazy stuff in my lifetime, and I knew I was like, oh, I just knew I wasn't gonna fall victim to none of that. I just knew I was protected. I knew that something was gonna happen later in life, and even now, I mean, um, I figured it out. I'm 45, and I feel as spry as I did when I was 35. I'm thinking about doing this running stuff again. I checked, and it's funny. If I can get my time down, I think it's like 7 seconds, which seems like a lot, but it shouldn't be hard. It's going to take hard work, but it shouldn't be super hard. If I get down 7 seconds, that will put me in the same category as one of my childhood favorite football players, Willie Gold from Chicago Bears, was one of the fastest men in the NFL for the longest time. But he's up there now in age. He's in his 50s, almost 50, I think. And well, he might be 50 because he's older than me, of course. But he holds the record for the race I run, and if I get within 4 seconds of my high school time, I will beat him. Now tell me that doesn't feel good. I mean, I knew I couldn't beat him in high school and college, but now he's an old man. Yeah. I could possibly beat one of my childhood legends. That's just amazing. So I feel that passage was a message to me that you guys will be in my life soon. That because you are my descendants. Only one other person on this planet can claim direct lineage to you, and I will be there. And it's just awesome to know that that promise is what that 17.7 meant. It's gonna be kept, and you guys are gonna have great lives and stuff. And I've started a new circle. They say circle of whatever is like in your life, depression, poverty, violence, whatever was in, is your circle. That's what usually your kids get, but I'm starting a new circle. You guys will have more than I had. You will not see the craziness I had, even though right now people are trying to put you in craziness because they haven't lived it themselves and they don't understand. What they're doing right now is setting you up for a life of poverty. They're setting you up for a life of government handouts. That's not the life you were meant for. That's the life that I had. And I did everything I could to avoid that for you guys. And they're trying to put you right back in there. They don't realize it, but they do. There they are. Sorry. So, anyways, another thing though. So when all this craziness started happening, I I've always said, everybody says they do anything for their kids. And I don't think that's true. I think a lot of people are still kind of selfish. It's a great bumper sticker on your car or something, but when it comes down to hard facts, most people won't. But it's kind of crazy. I was looking through stuff to try to sell, so I can, keep the good fight up. And I looked through a box I hadn't looked through in months. The boxes probably has stuff in it that's at least easily 10, 15 years old. And I found some stuff that I was able to sell, not a lot, but inside the box was something that was new, which is really weird because I don't recall putting that new in this box. And there's another passage from the Bible. I'm going to read this to you guys and I'm going to get going. And I think this fits the whole messages from God thing. So here we go. Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. I'm going to continue to be me, boys. I said that in like every third or fourth video. No one is going to make me compromise myself. I know what's going on. I know what's going to happen. I know the truth. I'm not saying I'm God, please. I'm not even Moses. I'm not a prophet. Nothing. But some things are very foreseeable. You don't have to be. As long as you have your eyes open, you see it. You see it coming. So I'm hoping to continue to be that light for you guys. Be that example of what a decent person is, and I'm gonna keep doing that. Not for me, but for His glory and for you guys to have as a role model. Society has an epidemic going on right now. Not enough dads in kids' lives. It's pretty sad the way this country has become. It went from a country to where boys looked up to being their father, and now they have to look up their father. you know, it's there's no more going to the baseball game with your boys for opening day. That doesn't happen like it used to. There's no outside playing catch with your boy in the dark. No more of that. No more waiting till your dad gets home because dad ain't home. He ain't coming home, and no one knows dad is. But that's not gonna be me, boys. I promise you that. We will find a way. Anyways, I love you guys. Always have, always will. I loved you before you were born. So I will talk to you soon. I managed to keep this under 20 minutes. Aha! By about 10 seconds. Love you guys. Bye.